Most of the country's corn and soybean crops are grown here in Iowa, and if you've seen the prices for either lately, you know there's a lot of money being made.
And of course, that's been driving the price of farmland through the roof. Early show contributor Taryn Winter Brill is here with a look at those record prices, which is good for Iowans. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Nora. Well, ever since the real estate bubble burst back in 2007, on average, the value of U.S. land has been on the decline. However, conversely, here in Iowa, the value of farmland is higher than ever. We caught up with one real estate agent who recently sold the most expensive plot of land in Iowa state history.
Now, how much did you sell this property for?
$20,000 an acre.
Real estate agent and auctioneer Pete Polema is having a banner year.
Business is booming, yes. Right after we get done with this, I got another sale to write up.
As hunger for Iowa's corn, soybeans, and alfalfa remains near record highs, farmers are breaking the bank to get their hands on as much land as possible.
This is the most expensive property I've ever sold in Iowa.
The price of Iowa farmland set a record last year, up 32% compared to 2010, which was also a record year. The increase, according to economist Tom Root, can be attributed to two key factors.
The first is the high commodity prices, and that's fueled by global demand for commodities. So we have a big increase in corn prices and soybean prices, fueled a lot by the growth in the developing world. Also, low interest rates.
And with farmland selling at an all-time high, it appears as though Iowa is experiencing an economic boom. But with unemployment numbers still nearly double what they were before the economic downturn, businesses on Main Street continue to feel the pinch.
We noticed a shift in business in 2008, and then we've just been kind of struggling to make ends meet since then.
While Jennifer Schaefer struggles to keep her West Des Moines store open,
yes, I'd like a puff pillow.
Business has been better down the street at Nancy Earle's Candy Shop, but rising prices have forced her to make some tough decisions.
I did raise chocolate, but only because my chocolate costs went up. So I had to raise prices on candy. I'll probably be raising bakery prices the first of the year because the bakery ingredients have gone up, and I haven't raised my prices in bakery ingredients for probably 6 years.
According to Iowa pollster J.Ann Seltzer, the economic cycle that's left so many Iowans out of work remains the #1 issue amongst caucus goers.
People are most concerned about the economy, and it plays out in terms of concerns about government spending and getting the deficit under control, creating jobs, dealing with the tax code. It's financial issues that are dominating caucus goers' agenda this year.
Economist Root also points out that high-priced farmland in the Hawkeye State hasn't had a fruitful history.
We had a 30% increase in farm prices in Iowa in the late 1970s. One of the big worries people have now is that we saw a decline in the early 80s and had a huge crisis in the 80s. Part of the reason was the bubble in farmland prices that occurred in the late 70s.
Bubble or not, for Pete Polema, it's strike while the iron is hot. Or as they say in Iowa,
You make hay when the sun shines. That's what they always say. So.
They certainly do, and the sun is definitely shining brightly here on Iowa farmland. Incidentally, if you're curious how much land was sold in that huge transaction, about 75 acres, and at $20,000 an acre, that's just shy of $1.5 million, so a pretty penny indeed.
No doubt, Taryn. And I was actually talking to an Iowa farmer last night, and she was talking about just that record prices, but land prices, of course, up and cutting into her family's profits. What has it done in terms of jobs? I mean, has it meant more jobs for people in Iowa?
Yeah, you know, Nora, it's an interesting question. We spoke to one economist who said there's an interesting trade-off going on because with all of these farmers gobbling up this land, that means there's less room to develop manufacturing facilities, retail stores, set up housing development. So in terms of job creation, it's doing very little. Nora?
All right, Taryn, thank you. They could make money on wind farms here in Iowa. It's so windy out there. Thank you, Taryn, for braving the cold for us.